So welcome to How to Live in Love. My name is Alexander Bell, and these talks are in partnership with the book of the same name, How to Live in Love, written by myself and available for free from my website, which is alexanderbell.org, where you will also find all of the music I've composed over the past 20 years, also available for free. You'll also find hundreds of articles, many videos, and lots of other really important information, which I hope will be of benefit to you in some way. So that's all at alexanderbell.org. So this talk is about whether you're being hypnotized by the media. And the media is a very hypnotic mode of communication, especially when you've got a screen and you've got music and you've got messages being embedded in the story of the films and TVs. And every story has a message, by the way. So by its very nature, kind of visual media, films, screens, programs are hypnotic. They are hypnotic. So what if the full hypnotic power of the media, and of course that includes music. Music is very hypnotic, by the way, because it's often quite repetitive and simple messages are repeated over and over again in the songs. So music is very hypnotic and again is being used in a negative way at present on a very large scale. And any form of the media can be hypnotic. Video games can be hypnotic as well. Even books and magazines can be hypnotic with the way they place images and ideas and words in your mind. So, are we being hypnotized by the media? Yes, we certainly are. The media's been hypnotizing people for a very, very long time. And that's because it's not neutral. The media's not neutral. It has an agenda, whether it's to sell you more something, to make you more of a consumer. Then if that's its only agenda, then of course it's going to hypnotize you. It's going to use all the skills and tools and tricks that it's got to hypnotize you to make you into a better consumer. All the ones it's allowed to use anyway. So even if we were just being hypnotized to be better consumers, which we have been for a very long time, that's just one thing. But the media now is essentially in the hands of people or organizations who have a political agenda. So the media is now almost across the board, 95%, being used for political purposes. And we are being hypnotized to believe certain things about certain elements of our society, hypnotized to believe what is good and what is bad, and who are the bad guys. So we should be angry with the bad guys. This is a very strong message being put out across the whole of the media at the moment and has been for a few years. So we're being hypnotized to think in a certain way, to see in a certain way, to take a certain standpoint, and to look out at society, look out at the people we know, look out at the stories that we hear in the news and judge them from a certain perspective. And essentially the reason to do that is to create a great division in our society. And why would people want to create division? Well, division just fuels this monstrous machine that we call capitalism and governmental control. You know, how can I put it? It's all about power. When it comes down to it, it's all about people who love their power. Very wealthy people who love having power, and they don't want to lose that power. And so the media has been used for a very long time to help those people essentially get more money from you, to turn you into a better consumer, and to also psychologically influence you. And then it became obvious to the people who realized the power of the media. I mean, the power of a screen with music and images and very quick flashing images and video, and the power of this medium was realized many decades ago, and people realized that they could essentially get people thinking a certain way if they understood how to manipulate the language, how to get into people's minds, and how to kind of understand how people think. Once you can understand how people think, and once you understand how you can influence how people think, then there's a great danger of evil forces in the human heart wanting to use that to control other people. And that's what we have right now. We have large, powerful organizations who have harnessed that desire to control people, to manipulate them, to essentially give away their power for the benefit of these larger entities. And this isn't a big deal, really, when you come back to your own personal life and you come back to the fact that you can wake up from the hypnosis. And this isn't a big deal, because hypnosis is essentially a choice. You can't be hypnotized when someone points out to you that you're hypnotized. You can't remain hypnotized. So it's becoming aware that we are being manipulated by the media is the first step. And to understand why the media might be manipulating us. Because it has its own agendas. It's in the hands of powerful people who have agendas, political agendas, economic agendas, even spiritual agendas or religious agendas, which are not as nice as we would like to think they are, or pretty dark, in fact. So, once we've understood that that the media can be used in this way and that it is being used in this way, then we have to ask ourselves, well, what's happening to me emotionally? How am I being emotionally steered by the media? How is it emotionally influencing me? Am I becoming first of all, more afraid about things which I think are happening and the things which I think are going to happen? Because a big part of fear is projecting it into the future. So it's always just on the horizon. Because when a bad situation actually arrives, we can usually find a way to deal with it, and we go into this instinctive state of consciousness where we just deal with what's happening. We don't get stuck in fear. But if you can keep the fear in the future, then this paralyzes us in the present, because we haven't got a situation we can deal with because it's not arrived yet. But our fear of it happening is what paralyzes us, because we can't do anything about that. We can't change the future. So this is why the fear is always in the future, or usually always in the future, because then it's completely out of our control.